So people who come over know that I'm a hypnotist, of course. There's a huge sign here at the office that says hypnotherapy. And sometimes a person will ask me this afternoon, somebody asked me, what is hypnosis? Because everybody has heard of hypnosis, they've seen it in movies and so forth. But the truth is that few people, unless you're studying these types of topics, few people in the general public actually know much about hypnosis beyond what they see in movies. And frankly, what you see in movies isn't necessarily accurate, because in movies what you're really looking for is a visual impression. So people kind of make up stories about what hypnosis is to make the movie more interesting, and I get that. But what is hypnosis then? Well, hypnosis is nothing more than access to your own unconscious or subconscious. In other words, we all have, if it isn't quite accurate to say that we have two minds, but we have two aspects of our minds. So here at the office, for instance, we have a picture or a drawing, I don't know, of an iceberg on the wall. And I love the picture because I've always used the iceberg as a metaphor. And one day I was browsing through a store and I found the poster. I picked it up immediately because I've been talking about this for so long. And when I saw it, I thought it was awesome. And in this picture, you can clearly see the iceberg both from the portion of the ice that's on top of the water and the portion of the ice that's underneath the water. And as you know, there's more ice underneath than there is above the water, right? But the reason why the iceberg is an awesome analogy to the mind is because there's a portion of the ice that we would see if we were on a ship on the surface of the water, and there's a great deal of ice underneath that we wouldn't see. And if you didn't know anything about icebergs or ice, you wouldn't even know that that ice is there, conceptually, because you cannot see it, right? So the point I'm making is that the portion of the ice that we see would be analogous to the conscious mind, the rational mind, the thinking part of your mind. And the portion of the ice that's hidden underneath would be like the unconscious or the subconscious. Now, what actually supports the ice that's above water? Well, that's actually the ice that's underneath the water. So our unconscious feelings and thoughts and ideas and patterns and images that are stored in the unconscious actually drive our lives in the long term. So for instance, we have something within us all called willpower. And if you want to, you can really will yourself into not eating for a whole day. But over time, whatever is stored in your unconscious will prevail, and you're going to eat in a certain way that will result in a certain body figure. You see what I'm saying? So although you could will yourself into not eating one day, over time, you're going to eat in some way that is dictated by your unconscious feelings. And that's how come we look different. And the same thing happens towards our finances. You can save money one day, but if in your unconscious we don't have a saving pattern in there, then we're going to save one day, then squander the rest of the month, and we're not going to do very well financially. Those are just examples. But what I'm saying to you is that willpower can compel us into changing our behavior in a very short term, for a few days. And that's why people say that in New Year's resolutions, it lasts like 2 to 3 days, and then we revert back to our old patterns. So for the short term, willpower. In the long run, what you actually become over the next several years has to do with the patterns that are stored in your subconscious. What hypnosis is a way of becoming consciously aware of your own subconscious. In other words, you're connected to. And by becoming consciously aware of what's in your unconscious, and I'm using the words unconscious and subconscious interchangeably for the purpose of this discussion, by becoming aware of it, you can actually make changes in it. And by making changes in your subconscious, you can actually change the quality of your life for the better. All right, so that's what hypnosis is. It consists of a nice, peaceful type of relaxation through suggestion, and we talk about this, and you kind of relax a little bit, and in no time, you will be experiencing your own unconscious patterns, and you'll be able to change the quality of your life by simply relaxing and listening to your hypnotherapist talk. So this is the gist of what hypnosis is, and it's important that we understand it in the proper context, because it has nothing to do with the hypnotist having power over you or being better than you or putting stuff into your mind. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with you wanting to make certain changes, and the hypnotist using a very, very high level of skill to help you achieve those very, very specific changes that actually come from you, not from your hypnotist's mind. It comes from you. All right, so that's what hypnosis is. And I'm greatly looking forward to meeting you and discussing this further. Thank you.